everyone. Ready for something different. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into,
Texas.
yeah, Atlantis. Well, sort of. It's about what it means to be a citizen of this thing they call the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood.
Intriguing. Right.
Yeah. We got this document, it lays it all out, qualifications and all that.
And it gets pretty intense.
Oh, yeah.
Not just like join our club
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
They frame this citizenship as like a whole life path.
Yeah.
Serious commitment.
Yeah, totally. And they're big on self-improvement. Like, the whole document is just packed with words like self-mastery and self-discovery. It's almost like a guide to inner transformation or something.
It is. And it's interesting, right? Because that connects back to all these ancient wisdom traditions. That idea that like true knowledge and power, they come from understanding yourself. That's not new.
Right?
So it makes you wonder, are they like intentionally tapping into that? Like framing personal growth as the foundation for something even bigger.
I see what you mean. And speaking of bigger things, there's a super strong spiritual side to this whole thing, too. They're asking these big questions, the kind of stuff that keeps you up at night, like, who am I and what's the purpose of life?
Yeah, it definitely seems geared towards people who are really searching for deeper meaning.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not just all that introspection, right? They also stress intellectual curiosity, like a lot. Challenging assumptions, not just accepting things at face value.
Oh, so like dig deeper, question everything.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting. And of course, we got to mention the whole ancient wisdom angle. I mean, they're playing on that idea of lost knowledge passed down from, Atlantis. Adds to the mystique for sure.
For sure. There's definitely something alluring about tapping into like this hidden source of knowledge, right?
Totally.
Like they're the keepers of secrets lost to the rest of us.
Right, right. And I bet that really resonates with people who are into alternative histories or esoteric teachings. But hold on, it's not just personal enlightenment they're after?
No, not at all.
The document really hammers home this idea that Atlantean citizens, they're driven by a desire to serve humanity.
No, absolutely. Making a difference, contributing to something bigger than themselves, that's huge for them.
Yeah, like it's not just an afterthought. It's a core part of who they're looking for.
That's a defining characteristic.
Yeah, so it's like take all that self-discovery, all that knowledge, and actually do something with it.
Exactly.
Not enough to just understand it. Got to put it into action, make the world better.
You got it. And that's where the whole community aspect comes in, too.
Oh, right. They talk about that.
Finding like-minded people, building that support network. Makes sense, though, right? They describe this path as pretty demanding.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. You'd need that community to, like, navigate the challenges, stay committed to the whole Atlantean citizenship thing.
Totally. It's like they're saying, hey, this isn't a solo mission. You need that sense of belonging.
Makes a lot of sense.
That shared purpose. It fuels the journey, which, by the way, they make it super clear. This path is not for everyone.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They flat out say it requires courage, dedication, not for the casual dabbler.
Wow, setting the bar high.
They are. And it's funny, they frame that as a good thing. Like, if you're not willing to put in the work, this ain't for you.
Which makes you wonder, what exactly is that work?
Right. What does it all entail?
That's the big question. And it's something we'll definitely keep digging into as we go deeper with this document. Like, what specific practices do they recommend? What does this Atlantean approach actually look like in practice?
Yeah, because they're blending all these things together. Ancient wisdom, self-improvement, service to humanity.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is.
So we got to figure out how they weave it all together. Because ultimately, that's what makes this whole thing so interesting, right? It's not just about Atlantis. It's about this deep human desire for purpose and meaning in a world that can feel pretty chaotic sometimes.
Yeah.
So about that work they keep mentioning, it gets kind of out there.
Yeah, tell me about it. They talk about all these sacred rituals and practices, and it's like, whoa.
Right. Definitely not your average self-help stuff.
Not even close.
Like, there's this one they mentioned, a daily ritual. You got to chant these specific mantras and, like, visualize a pillar of light connecting you to the heart of Atlantis.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wild.
But it's interesting how they tie all that in to the whole Atlantean citizenship thing.
How so?
Well, it's not just about, like, reading and understanding.
Right.
They want you to actually do these practices, facilitate some kind of inner transformation, stuff that's been supposedly passed down for centuries.
Yeah. You definitely get the sense that they're tacking into something ancient. Like, it's more than just a seminar or a self-help book. You got to actually embody it.
Yeah, exactly. And they think that embodiment is, like, crucial to their big goal.
Yeah.
Uplifting consciousness on a global scale.
Right, right. It's not just about you feeling good. They want to change the world.
Exactly. They seem to believe that when individuals connect with this ancient wisdom and work on themselves, they're actually, like, helping humanity evolve.
So like a ripple effect. My transformation leads to bigger changes.
Yeah, something like that. They think as individuals raise their consciousness, they radiate it outwards. It influences everyone around them, and eventually, the whole collective shifts.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess. But how do they actually do that? Like, how do they put this into action? Do they do activism, community projects? What does uplifting consciousness even look like?
That's a great question. But honestly, the document's kind of vague on that.
Oh, come
I
on.
know, right? They spend all this time on the qualifications and the philosophy, but the actual actions? Not so much.
So it's like all talk, no action.
Well, maybe not. It's possible they reveal more as members progress. Like there's this thing they mentioned, ascending the 7 crystalline steps. Sounds kind of structured, right?
Yeah, like there's more to come as you go deeper.
Right, so maybe the specifics come later for those who really commit.
Makes sense. Like, gotta prove yourself first.
Exactly. And remember, they keep stressing dedication and commitment, so it fits. They don't want casual folks. They want the truly invested.
You know, putting aside the methods, I actually kind of like the message. Like, you can't help the world if you haven't dealt with your own stuff first.
Totally. It's like they're saying inner work is essential to making a difference. Heal yourself, then you can really help others.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that. And I think it taps into something a lot of people feel, like they're searching for answers, for purpose in their lives.
For sure. And this document, even though it's got all this weird language and imagery, it's speaking to that yearning.
Yeah. And the whole Atlantis thing just adds to it, like this lost civilization with secret knowledge. It's so alluring.
Oh, totally. It makes you wonder, what if there is some hidden path?
Right.
A way to tap into that wisdom and create a better future.
Exactly. And by framing it as Atlantean citizenship, they're building this sense of belonging. Like,
Yeah.
we're all in this together, united by this shared purpose.
Clever, right. Taps right into our desire for connection and meaning. But it also makes you wonder, who wrote this thing?
Oh, yeah. Good point. Who are these people? Is this a real organization or just some, like, philosophical guide?
Honestly, we don't really know.
Oh,
I
man.
know, but hey, that's part of the fun, right? The
Yeah.
mystery just makes it more intriguing. We're left with more questions than answers.
Yeah, I guess you're right. That's the whole point of exploring, right? Not just getting all the answers, but asking the right questions and staying open to possibilities.
Exactly. Embrace the mystery. Let yourself be challenged by new ideas, even if they seem a little out there, because that's how we learn and grow.
It's like they took this whole Atlantis myth and turned it into, like, a way to explore these big questions about what it means to be human, what our purpose is, all that.
Yeah, and it's not like a set of rules or anything like, here's how to be a good Atlantean. It's more about pushing people to look inward, find their own path to a more meaningful life.
Right. And they're upfront about it being hard work, too. It's not some quick fix or easy solution.
Oh yeah, no shortcuts here. It's all about dedication, courage, facing your own weaknesses. That comes across loud and clear in the document.
Totally. You get the sense that this is serious stuff, not just some fad or something. Like, they want deep transformation, the kind that changes you from the inside out and then ripples outward to affect the whole world.
Exactly. It's inspiring in a way, even if it's a little intense.
Definitely intense. But it brings us back to that question. Is this a real group with a plan or just a way of thinking?
Right. The document keeps that pretty mysterious.
Super frustrating.
I know. But maybe it's both. Maybe there is a core group that keeps the teachings alive, but they also want people to take the ideas and run with them in their own way.
So like a decentralized movement, more about shared values than a strict hierarchy?
Yeah, something like that. It would allow for a lot of individual expression while still having that common thread of Atlantean principles.
And that could be why it's so appealing. It's not one size fits all. People can find their own way within that bigger framework.
Exactly. You can connect with the philosophy and then, like, make it your own. Figure out how you want to make a difference.
Even if we forget about Atlantis for a second, the core message is pretty universal. Wanting to live a life that matters, to be part of something bigger than yourself. I think that resonates with a lot of people.
Absolutely. It's a fundamental human desire, and that's what makes this whole deep dive so fascinating, right? We're not just picking apart this document. We're exploring what it says about us, about what we're all searching for.
That's a great point, and I think that's a good place to wrap up our deep dive for today. But before we go, I want to leave you with a thought. Imagine stripping away all the ancient stuff, the fancy language, what's left. What does this document tell us about that human need for purpose, for connection, for making a real difference? What speaks to you in all of this, and how could you use those insights in your own life? It's something to think about as you continue your own journey, your own exploration.
And remember, that journey never really ends. We all have the power to live meaningful lives, to make a positive impact in our own unique ways.
Well said. So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.